Alright, this video is a video on how to write your lab reports as well as some scientific method. So first, we'll go ahead and start with the scientific method part. We're going to go with observation. Okay, from observation, we go to a question. From the question, we go to a hypothesis, which is just the answer to the question. It is not an if-then statement. Your if-then statement is your prediction. Your prediction is the if-then statement. Just to show you, if I have observed that my flashlight's not working, the question would be, why isn't my flashlight working? The hypothesis would be, it's out of batteries, or the batteries are dead, or it needs a new light bulb. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick with the battery. The reason why the flashlight's not working is because the batteries are dead. So the prediction, if I replace the battery, then the flashlight will work. Well, the actual act of replacing the battery is known as the test. So the test is going to have one of two results. One, it's going to reject the hypothesis. So hypothesis rejected. In that case, you would need a new hypothesis and then a new prediction and then a new test. Or it's not rejected, and you either go back to another observation and do more testing, or you just go ahead and draw a conclusion from your test. So that's the scientific method. Next will be how to write your report, which is going to be very similar to this. Alright, so observation. It's going to be written first in your notebook, and then you're going to have the question, the hypothesis, then your prediction. Now, like I said, some of your labs in chemistry will not involve the whole scientific method. They may just be some skills that I need you to be familiar with, and we'll do a lab, which is pretty much like a hands-on activity anyways. So, but if we were to write a lab report, this is what it would look like: prediction, and then you would have your list of materials, and then you would have your procedure, which can either be a paragraph or a list. It's up to you. And then you have your raw data, which are calculations. Okay? Raw data. And then you have your regular data, which is the finished product in a table. You have your data analysis. Which we'll talk about more next, because that's a big deal right here. And then your conclusion. Now, your conclusion is either one of two sentences. The data supports, check that. The data rejects the hypothesis, or the data does not reject the hypothesis. It's only one sentence long. Okay, so what we want to do next, though, is, and lastly, is to focus on data analysis, because that's where many of your points are going to come from. So, your data analysis. Okay. There needs to be a pretty much a summary of your procedure and purpose for the lab. Why did you do it, and how did you do it? That's one, maybe two sentences. You'll then state the expected results. This is pretty much like you stating your hypothesis. This is what is expected to happen in this lab. After that, you state the actual, sorry, I forgot to say results. The actual results. So state the actual results, meaning what actually did happen. And then lastly, you need to tell me why the hypothesis was rejected or not rejected. Okay? Now, during the lab, you need to definitely cite your data here. Okay? You need to have the data to back up these claims that it was rejected or not. Okay? And the last thing that you should realize is that this is really short. This is one sentence, maybe two. This is one sentence. This is one sentence. This is 2 to 3 sentences. So this whole thing is about 2 to 3 sentences long. Or sorry, 2 to 3. 5 to 7 sentences long. Okay? Now, the last thing I want to talk about with this is if this thing right here, a data analysis, if it is a part of your lab report, then we call it a data analysis. But there's going to be times when I just want the data analysis. It's pretty much a clip of what the lab was about without you writing up the whole lab. That little clip is known as an abstract. Okay, abstract, data analysis, they mean the same thing. It's just when it's just the data analysis that you're turning in, it's called an abstract. But when the data analysis is a part of the whole project, then we just call it a data analysis. Okay, if you guys have any questions, please ask in class or write comments below.